Hey everybody, it's Insane Game Freak here. So it's E3 week, a bunch of shit's going on. There's like 3 other videos I need to upload. 2 of them are just geeking out videos, so I'm trying to get the prediction videos out of the way. You need to get your potassium, folks. Fuck. Oh my god, this is cold. I had this in the fridge. Anyway, so this video is for Nintendo. I got the AC in the back because it's hot in Georgia. So the video in question is talking about Nintendo's E3 predictions. Nintendo's kind of in the weirdest position, and I've even mentioned this on the Juices Loose earlier this week, because we already know a good chunk of what's coming out, and we have gameplay footage and even fucking release. I think this is one of the first E3s we're walking into a conference knowing a good amount of release dates before the conference starts. Think about it. You got Mario Maker at the end of June. You got Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 on July 19th. Then you got Fire Emblem 3 Houses July 25th or 6th, I believe. Then you got Astral Chain on August 30th. And then recently we just got the November 15th date for Pokemon Sword and Shield. It's like, well, fuck. The only thing really you need to show is filling that gap between pretty much October, actually just October. October and December are the only 2 months that don't have games coming out. Wait, hold on. September, October, and December. And when you look at the games that are left, you got Luigi's Mansion, which is almost a borderline October title. Come on, yo. You put out a game that is based around ghost hunting. It don't make no sense not to put that out in Halloween. And that also has been confirmed as one of the playable games for this E3. So to me, it's almost a no-brainer. That's probably going to be an October game. Then you got Animal Crossing, which can either come out in September or December. It would not surprise me if that's a December game. Would not surprise me at all, and actually probably that's what I'm leaning towards. Because Animal Crossing is another one of those franchises. It's one of the few franchises I think that could stand up next to a Pokemon. And it'd be pretty much a double hitter, kind of like what they did last year with Pokemon and Smash Brothers. They're 2 different types of games that appeal to 2 different audiences. So it would not surprise me if you put out Pokemon in the middle of November and then you also put out Animal Crossing like towards either the end or middle of December. Honestly, their year is already done. Like really, at this point, you're just waiting for games to come out because you're good. But let's talk about a few other titles. Siren Kagura comes out. Siren Kagura Peach Ball comes out, I think, in June. So does Bloodstained. That comes out in June for Nintendo. It's like 3 days before Mario Maker. Then you got all these rumors of third-party titles. The one that's been circulating the most as of recently is the Witcher 3 port, which a lot of people are very skeptical on. Because it's like, are you really going to put that out? On top of that, you also got games like Wolfenstein, which I believe comes out in July. And then you got Doom Eternal, which is more than likely going to be like an October, maybe November game. I don't think that has a release date. At this point, people just want to see more footage of it, which goes for most of these titles, even on Nintendo's list. Like Luigi's Mansion 3, we need to see more footage. But considering the game is playable, I'm assuming we're going to see more footage anyway. So Luigi's Mansion, then you got Dragon Quest Definitive Edition. There's been ratings in Australia, so there's a high tier chance we're going to see that. I bet that'll be a September game like it was last year for the PlayStation 4 and PC versions that came out in the States. Which, fuck me, man. Like, the rest of this year is game busters. Like, Nintendo is going to steamroll the fuck out of the rest of this year, yo. There is nothing, because the only game that's going to cause some issues is probably going to be the Call of Duty, which there's been rumors that that's going to be confirmed for Switch. That hasn't been proven yet. Same thing with NBA. There's rumors that that's coming out on Switch, but we don't know. NBA is more likely because NBA, at least as of the Switch, has been consistently coming out on Nintendo Switch. So I expect NBA to be there, just like I expect FIFA to be there. Those 2 are no-brainers. I'm trying to think of what else. There's a potential chance that Square will show off some RPG for the Switch, and that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards like either a Secret of Mana or Chrono Trigger. A lot of people hope it's Chrono Trigger. I'm totally cool with either one. I'm just saying. It's hard because you're kind of going through game lists. There was rumors of Metroid Prime Trilogy. And that is probably still a thing. I don't know, but I think they learned their lesson with Bayonetta 1 and 2 edition, where they put out the collection so far away from the release of the game, it kind of doesn't matter. Like, the advantage of Bayonetta 1 and 2 coming to Switch was kind of cool because Bayonetta 3 was just announced, and I think they wanted that hype to carry them through. But the problem is that Bayonetta 3 wasn't close to being done yet, so it was kind of like, well, it's out, but, you know, how much does it really matter? Not that much in the long run, because I don't think that port sold insanely well. Now, speaking of ports, because there's that rumor going around with the GameStop 21 SKUs, and then I think a couple showed up on Amazon. The question is, what games are those, right? And some of them I expect to be first party, some of them might be third party. But there are probably some few surprise titles in there that we need to address. Or the potential surprise titles of what I should say. Hell, at this point, we don't even know how long the Direct is. We still don't know how long it is. They did just announce that Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 will be playable at Best Buy stores, certain Best Buy stores during the week of E3, which is cool. Wish it wasn't just Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but then I looked online and realized it's not even in my city, so it doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't even matter. My heart, it hurts. That's all I'm gonna say in regards to that. But then it brings up, okay, so what games could it possibly be? Because we still got a few that we don't know nothing about. And we still got games that are still hovering around. Metroid Prime 4, we've pretty much acknowledged won't come out this year. But I don't believe that Nintendo's not going to try some new shit. You had ARMS come out in 2017, and the last party crash for that is like this weekend, I think. And so that Mario Kart team hasn't really been doing much other than ARMS, which has been, as far as DLC was done, like, what, 2018, I believe? Is when they were done with doing DLC for that game, so, or free patches and shit, so the question then goes, well, what have they been doing? We still don't know what Retro's been doing. And so, my guess, initially, and then we also got the Smash characters. Now, personally, I think I've been pretty honest about this. There's been a lot of rumors of Banjo and Smash. I'm not against it, but here's my thing. If you're going to put Banjo and Smash, I expect the new Banjo game to be cross-platform on Xbox and Switch. That's the guess I'm going to make on that. If Banjo has a new game and is going to be in Smash, I expect that Banjo game to be cross-console on Nintendo and Xbox. That's just me. That might be a little ridiculous, I know, but that's just the thought process I'm running with right now. Actually, you got Shantae's new game that they haven't really talked about, which I expect to see some news on. We recently got some announcements of the fucking God tier, like Battle for Bikini Bottom remake. Boy, that's a whole separate video that will be made. Not right now, but god damn it, just know I'm so fucking excited. The problem is that because I know what's coming from Nintendo, I'm not as excited as I could be. But that's also because literally, as far as this year's concerned, I'm fucking sold. There ain't nothing else you gotta do. This year is golden for me. Like, if we're just talking about the games I plan to get, that's what? Siren Kagura, Bloodstain, because I had that as a Kickstarter, Fire Emblem, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Dragon Quest S, because that's more likely going to come out, Pokemon is definite, Astral Chain is pretty definite, which we need to see more footage of that. The only games that are still up in the air is Damn Ex Machina, because we don't know if that's coming out this year still, and Luigi's Mansion 3. That's like, if I don't count those two, I got 7 games for the next 6 months. I'm pretty golden, personally. So that's part where my excitement isn't as high, but they are going to kill this year. Like, that's not even, to me, that's not even an argument. So, like, to me, this E3 is more of a formality. Literally, Nintendo ain't got to do much to win this E3. Just show off the games you already got and maybe have 1 or 2 announcements. The problem is, in terms of IPs, the only thing that's going to make people move is if it's a F-Zero announcement, a Pikmin announcement to a lesser degree, a Star Fox announcement, or a Mother announcement. It's got to be one of those 3, or a new IP. Those are your, like, to me, for Nintendo to blow it out of the water, it's going to be one of those 5 things. It has to, because it doesn't, like, because everything else, we're pretty much golden. We're golden for the rest of this year. I have no doubt in my mind that the other games are going to come out Alright, and I'm pretty. The only games I'm not sure about are Deme Ex Machina, because we haven't really heard much from that game, and potential ports. And I guess we'll get into that, because I don't imagine we're done with ports, unfortunately. But there are a few Wii U games I think that deserve some representation. If they announce a Fatal Frame collection, or at the very least a port of 5 or the Wii games, that's it for me, yo. Because that's what I like. Ever since I played 5, I've been itching to play more of that. So, more Fatal Frame is a golden. I don't imagine. I think Token Rise Session, unfortunately, is pretty dead, which bums me out because that game is so good. It just has really boring dungeon design. And then you got Wonderful 101. Now, considering Hideki's kind of busy with Astral Chain, which we didn't even know about until like a few months ago, and Bayonetta 3, I have a very low chance that they're gonna even talk about Wonderful 101, at least in that capacity of like a new game. But you know, the cards are still there. If nothing else, that could be like a 2020 game. I'd be totally down for that. Just tell me that you're working on a game. I don't care if it's even like, I think actually this is probably the year they could get away with making long run announcements. Why? Because the rest of this year is so fucking jam packed. You don't really need to, like, realistically, we're not expecting more games for really, not any more heavy hitters. But it wouldn't hurt to start talking about some games for next year. I know they said they weren't going to do it, and I know Nintendo's been on this kick as of recently to, you know, talk about games that are soon coming out, because they fucked up before with that. But I think you could announce 1 or 2 games and be perfectly fine, personally. If you ask me which of those 5 choices I gave before, I'd rather it be a new IP and Star Fox. Those are the 2 titles I care the most about. And then as far as ports, like I said, I think Fatal Frame is my most wanted port as of that's left. Everything else is pretty golden, and obviously updates to the system and online. But at this point, I don't expect it. So yeah, if they talk about it and it's improved, it's great. But I'm not expecting it. But I think those are really all my main Nintendo predictions. There's not like a lot to go off of, because there's not a lot to really. Like I said, they're so strong. Their latter half of this year is so fucking strong. Any of these rumors coming true, like Witcher and NBA and FIFA and that shit, like their first party lineup is so strong for the latter half of this year. We're just fucking chilling. Let me just be real here. We're fucking out here relaxing, coasting and shit. Also, if I see Dylan on Switch, I would lose it. But that's a whole nother thing. Please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below of what games you're excited for. Remember, kids, make sure you get potassium. And as always, life's a game, play to win, and I will catch you guys later.